Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. Here's the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started. And off we go from New Era Field. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On first down, it's Vaughn. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Allen. Flushed out right. And this one's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Here we go. Hey, hold on. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Matt Judon there to bring him down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Here's Brissett. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Brissett to throw on first. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Hines. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Brissett. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
You know, he hated taking the loss there on third down. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On second down now. It's Vaughn, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
From the gun, it's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around, 1st and 10.
Mike 96, Mike 96.
First down, Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. Squeeze down the line. 49 to Mike. Mike 49. Stay with your man. Mike's 49. Mike's 49.
Brissett. Looking deep for Hilton. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 68 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Out to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen, escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
I smell fear in that offense.
Here's Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as a gain of 33, and that play started back at their own 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
We got 4. Alert, alert, alert. Mike, check.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. He's at the 30, the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll run on 1st down. Vaughn. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 17-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now this throw caught left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Here we go, here we go.
On first down, it's Vaughn. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Well, Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. They'll run on first down. Hines. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, it's Hines. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
On first down, Hines. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. On third down, Brissett. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36.
Hey, 96 is coming. We got Mike 96. Watch the curve. Watch the curves. Mike 96. Mike 96. Hey, tighten down. Tighten down. There we go.
To throw is Brissett. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively. Nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down now. It's Vaughn, and he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Allen from the gun on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Brissett. Looking deep downfield. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it, but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
97's the mic. It's been a long day for you. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. 6 man.
3rd and short yardage, Brissett. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Indianapolis. D.D. Westbrook, 72 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot in the end zone and made it pay off.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Allen going to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Pass 85, pass 85.
Now Allen. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
It's a gain of 11. Brings up 3rd and 8.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now a give, right side. Horn. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down. Hey, turn it up. Hey, 96 is coming. We got Mike 96. I'm coming for you. You mine. Mike 96. Man, that's trash. Hey, 96 is coming. We got Mike 96.
To throw, Brissett. Looking deep for Hilton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller is thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. Draw play. This is Hines. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Check 24. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
They run again with Hines. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Brissett from the gun on third. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Here we go.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 12, and he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He can't hang. 5 wide, 5 wide, 5 wide. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Go!
From just shy of midfield, Allen, he's going to air one out. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. 15 yards that time and a Buffalo first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Alert!
Allen now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? Second sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get one. That's memorable. Two? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
On second down, it's Vaughn. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Here's Hines on a toss play. Oh, nice move. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And the Ravens now really pouring it on. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
From just shy of midfield, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Like so many tight ends. Nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Allen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Night, sweetheart.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. And they give this time to the tailback. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
A 46-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now it's Hines. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Mike 96. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Hey, 96 is coming. We go Mike 96. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Brissett on 1st down. The open man is Westbrook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a give, right side. It's Hines. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darren Lee. Able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
A loss of 2 yards on the sack. And it's third down. 3rd and 12.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. Here we go. 97's the mic. 97.
From the shotgun, it's Bissett. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day.
Let's go. Let's do this.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check.
From the 22, Allen. That one caught by Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Check 59, Mike.
Mike.
59. Hey, what? Middle. The ball. SOS.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Bills send the punter out, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And taken right at the 35. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. Hines. And some room to run now. And he's got this down to the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Hines. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Check 50.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
You think you gonna get this? Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Check out.
They run with Hines. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 2 yards. Brings up 4th down.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Indianapolis, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers.